there's been times, particularly early in my career, where it just feels like this is the end. But what I've come to find out is that, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready. And so I've really learned to put one foot in front of the other, good, bad, or indifferent, because eventually that storm passes.
Can you assess exactly what went wrong? Was it too many injuries? Was it Shaq's foot at the beginning of the year? Can you begin to assess why you lost this series?
Nah, I mean, we have a million and one excuses that we could go to. The fact of the matter is we're not going to make any. They played better than we did in this series. We had our opportunities to win it. Didn't go for us. So we just have to regroup. Like I said, next season starts right now, and come back next season and play.
How much harder will you work in this offseason now to get back to the championship?
I'll push myself to exhaustion.
With what you just said, it sounds like you think that if you're going to make it, you're going to make it no matter what. Yeah. And there's no like, oh, well, things didn't go your way the first year and it ruined the trajectory of your career. It's either you have it or you don't.
That sounds like excuses to me. I mean, you got to figure it out, right? If you really have an obsession to figure it out, you will figure it out, right? And every puzzle is constructed differently. All right, AI's situation when he came into the league was different than mine. Mike's situation in Chicago was different than mine. Right, everybody has a different puzzle, man. You just got to figure out your own puzzle. And then for my wife, it's, she's as competitive as I am. She's just like, listen, man, if you're going to be out here training 8 hours a day, if you're going to spend 9 months out of the year away from your family, you better fucking win the championship. I think it's how do you negotiate with yourself. I think that's the biggest thing is, we talk about the mental side of it, but then, like, what does that really mean? Like the thoughts that happen in your mind when you're going through a competitive situation or you're facing a tight deadline, you still don't have the idea yet. What happens inside of here? You talk yourself out of it. Do you say, okay, well, it won't be a big deal if I don't do it? Or I don't have to get up on a Tuesday morning to go ahead and hit the track. What does this day really mean in the long scheme of things anyway? It's just one day. Mm-hmm. Like when you have those conversations with yourself, are you able to negotiate your way out of, that little, voice telling you it's not that important, or does that little voice get the best of you? I think that's what separates people who go on to do great things versus people who don't, or people that do great things but in an inconsistent way.
When we say this cannot be accomplished, this cannot be done, then we are shortchanging ourselves. I knew that I was not going to be stopped. So at the age of 18, this was my life, right? So you can't possibly become better than me because you're not spending the time on it that I do. Even if you want to spend the time on it, you can't because you have other things. You have other responsibilities that are taking you away from it. So I already won.
And that's the thing that's important is understanding that we have to